Welcome to another episode of the Haus Media Systems video series. Today is day 7. You know what that means? I've been doing this for a week. So that's something. That's traction. I'm pretty proud of that. I'm developing consistent habits, and this is how it's done. Just stack the reps, stack the wins, stack the singles. I got 7 singles. That's 1 3/4 home runs. So, do with that what you will. And today I would like to talk a little bit about the same topic I did yesterday. So if you haven't seen episode 6, you might want to go check that out and then check this out, because this is kind of a counterpoint discussion I want to have about that. So just to recap, yesterday I was feeling kind of frustrated about, I was feeling stretched a little thin and pulled in too many directions. I really want to focus on growing the video business, but my obligations at another business that I co-own with a couple of friends was getting, what I felt was getting in the way of that. And what I realized on reflection is that it's not really getting, that's not what my problem was last night. I was responding more to some other frustrations that are coming up that actually have more to do with the video business than the cafe. So all that being said, I wanted to kind of reframe that conversation on distractions a little bit and talk about some of the cool things that have come up in regards to the video business, Haus Media Systems, in response to or not in response to, but that have been kind of engendered by the cafe. So, one of those things is I've met one client there who's actually paying me money. There's a guy who runs a nonprofit locally, and I've started a great working relationship with him. He's bought some equipment. I'll be producing some episodes for him going forward, and then we'll see where the relationship goes. I think he's got some really interesting ambitions about what he wants to do in the area, and so we'll just keep an eye on that. But that would not have happened without the cafe. Another thing that I wanted to note is that I have a great partner in my co-owners. In particular, my friend Jesse, who I co-own the shop with, is very experienced in running his own business. He ran a business for a number of years back when we were living in New York, and he just has a great and deep and broad perspective on finding solutions for businesses. And one of the things he's looking at is actually using some of my video services to create like a recording option at the shop, so that that could be kind of a destination for people who want to make recordings, whether it's music or whether they're like a local content creator, or someone just wants to kind of dip their toes in the waters of podcasting, which is, as I've said in other episodes, it's a very accessible business. It's growing and it's fun. So that's one thing. Another thing is I get to practice my sales banter every day that I'm at the shop. Whether it's a customer or someone who comes in that I recognize from way back, we'll start talking. Hey, I'm interested in podcasting. Tell me more about it. And so I get to kind of work on my banter. It shows me what people are interested in. I'm learning some sales techniques that I think I'd like to start just practicing on our customers just for fun. And we'll see how that goes. But I just kind of wanted to reframe. I think I have reframed my perspective there, and I wanted to kind of take ownership of the fact that I was bringing some baggage to that discussion. I think what I said is still valid. I think there's a certain perspective from which you could say anything that stops you from making sales in your primary business is not great. And I do want to find a better balance there, but I was not really looking at or acknowledging the really great things about having a cafe, besides just the fact that I really enjoy making and eating delicious ice cream. It's good for the business in kind of more indirect ways, but in some just completely direct ways. So that's something to think about. I've also, I've got a couple other prospects who I've met through, not directly through the shop necessarily, but through being a restaurant owner in the area. There's some groups that are involved with that who are interested in generating some content, and these are good conversations to have, and I want to acknowledge them here, and I want to kind of take ownership of my own less than stellar attitude around that stuff. It's something I'm working on. I don't know that I'll ever have, a great attitude around, certain things, but I want to have a better attitude. I don't want to be, I want to radiate positivity, and I want to be the kind of person who takes ownership for where they're at, both in life and in the moment. So that's what I want to do here, and just to acknowledge, the opportunities that do exist. It's kind of an asymmetrical way of growing the business, but I can't deny the results. So that's I think that's about it. So we're about 7 minutes, a little short today, but I wanted to get this out. I'm actually going to the shop in a little bit. We're gonna play around with some recording equipment, and we might, start thinking about doing some content creation there. So maybe you'll start seeing me do some content from the shop. So that'll be fun. And yeah, in general, just wanted to kind of say I think it's cool that I was able to stick with this for a week. I think it makes it that much more realistic that I'll get to 100, which feels good. We'll cross 10 in a few days, so that'll be 10% there. That's a nice round number that you can say, hey, look, I'm making real progress. I'm making a dent in this obligation, and everything that flows from there. So anyway, love to hear your thoughts as always. I'd love to increase the engagement on this content. I'd love to increase the reach, although I'm actually doing pretty good. So I don't want to say surprisingly, but it's cool to see. So anyway, if you want to get a hold of me for business purposes, or just to kind of have a conversation about any aspect of video or podcasting or broadcast, or I've really done it all. You can check me out. The Haus Media Systems website is at haus.video. That's haus.video. You can email me direct at info@haus.video. Again, it's haus.video. Or you can call me on the phone. My number is 347-770-3453. Thanks so much, and we will see you tomorrow.